This is Unity, Joy of Life. I'm Nancy Norman, and this is your weekly wisdom. I've just now returned from a wonderful, wonderful time in California visiting my beautiful daughter and my magnificent extended family. And you know, every time I travel, I become more aware of God's greatness and God's goodness in my life. I love to travel and I love to fly, and my favorite seat is right by a window. I love to fly across our United States or wherever I am traveling, looking down upon this beautiful land of ours. Everything looks so pristine and perfect from that height. Mile after mile of well-defined crops and forests and cities. I look with wonder at that which is before me. And I oftentimes think, why don't we look at life in the same way, knowing that God's in charge and all is well? But somehow, rather than rising above a problem, we get right in the muddle. When we're confronted with a problem or a difficult situation, if we're confronted with doubt or with fear, rather than rise above the situation, knowing that God is with us every step of the way, we get right into the muddle. And we waste a lot of time and a lot of energy trying to figure things out. Instead, wouldn't it be wonderful if we could rise above those troublesome situations and look with wonder at that which is before us and realize that God is in charge, that God, we're not alone, that God is with us, and every step of our life, God is with us. We can trust that. We can trust God to guide us and direct us and to take care of us. We so often forget that we have to stay alert and not allow ourselves to get involved in the muddle and the wasted time and the wasted energy. We must stay alert and awake and rise above every situation, knowing that as we continue to be in constant conscious contact with God, all will be well, because His ways are ingenious and His methods sure. We can trust that. So let's stop focusing on the problems. Let's stop focusing on the difficulties. Let's instead become aware of what we really want to experience and come into vibrational harmony with that desire that we have in our heart and our minds. Look for the good and praise it. Rise above the difficulty, knowing and giving thanks that we really have already received the answer, the blessing. The answer is always there. The answer is always there. And if we turn to God, that we'll become aware of that answer. In Deuteronomy 31:8, we read, "The Lord Himself goes before you and will be with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged." The Lord Himself goes before you, and He will be with you. He will never leave you or forsake you. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. God's ways are ingenious. His methods are sure. So let us together remember that we can rise above the problems, the fears, the doubts, the concerns. We can rise above that knowing that God is in charge and all is well. We can look with wonder at that which is before us. And the seeming impossible good will become a reality in our lives. We look with wonder at that which is before us, knowing that God's ways are ingenious and His methods are sure. God bless you and have a wonderful, wonderful week.